What's going on YouTube? It's your host Bruce GNT, and for this video it's impromptu. Wasn't planning on doing this. I actually wasn't really going to talk about this at all because I usually try to stay away from tragedies involving children usually, but I think this is an interesting one, so we're just going to delve right into it. This is the Minneapolis school shooting that had recently happened. I was talking to my mom about it, and she was telling me a little bit was revealed about it and what's going on. So we're going to like cycle through a little bit and try to see if we get as much information as we can, and then go from there.
A devastating update to a story we've been covering since very early this morning out of Minneapolis, and that is a mass shooting that took place at a Catholic school, the Annunciation Catholic School in Minneapolis. Kids praying, having mass. It was the third day of their first week of school, and that's when the shooter opened fire outside the mass. We can confirm that 2 kids, ages 8 and 10, were killed. 17 injured. We did learn just now those 17 that were injured will survive, but for the first time, we are now learning who that shooter is. 23-year-old Robin Westman is the name. I know there has been some confusion because the police came forward saying that it was a young male in his early 20s that they believed was the shooter. Here's what we can tell you, that Robin Westman had applied for a name change back in 2022 in Minnesota. There was a name change application for a minor born on the same date of June 17, 2002, which would be the birth date of Robert Westman. It was approved by the district court in Minnesota in 2020 to change the name of a Robert Westman to Robin Westman, explaining that the minor child, quote, identifies as a female and wants her name to reflect that identification. Now that we have clarified the issue with the name Robert versus Robert, Robin Westman is how this shooter had been identified. It added a little more confusion, too, because the head of the FBI, Kash Patel, put out in a tweet that the FBI is now investigating this shooting as an act of domestic terrorism and hate crime targeting Catholics. Going on to talk about the 2 fatalities, that 8-year-old and that 10-year-old, in addition to the other children that were injured.
So first off, I just want to say, my thoughts and my prayers go out to those families. Losing a child is something that no one should ever have to go through. I mean, no parent should have to bear the pain of going before their children. No one should. Next thing I want to say, I can just see this getting real political real fast, because a hate crime against Catholics, maybe, depending. I heard that there was a manifesto, so I'm trying to find that if I can. Maybe, but I don't know. That might be a little bit of a stretch. Yeah, this whole thing, I can see this turning real political real fast. I'm of the mindset, I don't really think that you could be something that you're not born as, but I'm not going to treat you any differently. Your name is Robert. I'm sorry, is what it is. This is going to turn into something big. Hopefully it doesn't. Probably won't. But our president, and the fact that now politicians and people that government officials like tweeting a lot, which I find to just be terrible, it's going to turn into something. I can see it right now. But let's jump back in.
Including 3 adults. The shooter had been identified as 23-year-old Robin Westman. As the head of the FBI said, a male born as Robert Westman. We now have that clarified. The shooter has been named. I want to take it straight now to our investigative correspondent, Aaron Katursky. And not only do we know who that shooter is now, Aaron, we also know that shooter was able to purchase those 3 guns legally, and they were purchased recently.
Purchased recently and lawfully, according to police, a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol, all of them used, it's believed, by police in the course of the shooting that occurred while children and adults were praying at Wednesday morning mass. Most of the bullets, it's believed, were fired from outside as the shooter approached and fired through the stained glass, striking and killing an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old. There were 14 children who were injured, their ages 6 to 15. There were also adults in their 80s who police were injured. Thankfully, none of the injured are believed to be life-threatening with their injuries. They are expected to survive, according to police. And the question now that they've been able to trace the weapons is really going to focus on motive, Kira. 23-year-old Robin Westman was able to leave what police called a video manifesto that they're now going through to try and establish motive. We've also been going through it and can tell you there are crude diagrams of the church. There are also photos of the weapons, and they include all sorts of writings, the names of past mass shooters, criticism of Israel, the name of President Trump written on the guns. There are also racial slurs, nihilistic statements, all painting the picture of a disturbed individual who carried out this mass shooting on the first week of school at the Annunciation Church in Minneapolis.
Sorry about the audio. I don't know what's going on. I know it's not me. It's them. Yeah, like I said, yeah, it's gonna turn into one of those. It's gonna turn into one of those. It's gonna get real ugly real fast. I don't like when things get too political, and the reason why is because it really clouds what's really important, what we need to focus on. We need to focus on the fact that someone was able to buy these legally, and I'm not against, legally arming yourself. I'm not. But something else has to be done to figure out how can we steer away from people that are not mentally fit getting their hands on these weapons. You know what I'm saying? But it really just takes away from what really is important here. And it's the families that have been affected, and the fact that we have people out here that are mentally unfit willing to just plan something so atrocious like this out and go forth and do it. That's the part that's bad. That's the part that's worse, because it's like, what are we gonna do? Something needs to be done. So I found another video on Fox News and everything like that, trying to get like a different perspective of what's going on, because like I said, the audio over there, I don't know what was going on. It's not me. So we're just gonna jump right into this real quick.
But this person, for whatever reason, we'll see what the investigation plays out, just decided to show up to that parking lot, post up outside, and just start firing dozens of rounds into that church. And again, what we've heard from the witnesses is it was just pretty nonstop. We heard the witness this morning describing it as they thought somebody was working on their roofing nearby, because the bang, 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 bang was just so nonstop. It's just yet another horrific incident. It's unfortunate we have to keep dealing with these every now and then, and it just makes it so much worse when it's a school involving young children, Jillian. I mean, these kids are so innocent, and here we go again, whether it's Sandy Hook, Uvalde, a school like this. You have these elementary-age kids. You hear the innocence in their voice when they're interviewed by the media, and it's just hard to watch something like that, especially watching the parents show up. Like when I was at Uvalde, it was so hard because there were parents coming up to us, the media, asking us what information we had and holding up pictures saying, have you seen my little boy? Have you seen my little girl? Can you put it on the news right now? Can you get it out there? And you just see the panic in their faces. And watching the live shots that we've been doing all day long, you see that, right? Especially, Paul and I were on set together earlier this morning when the parents were first starting to show up, and you can see the panic in their eyes. You can see them looking for their kids. You can see the relief on their faces when they're able to find their kids and bring them out. Imagine being one of those parents who showed up and wasn't immediately able to find their child, or didn't know what hospital they're at, or didn't know what happened to them. It's just horrible stuff. So I understand we're waiting for the press conference with Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota. Last check we got is that is running about 5 to 10 minutes behind. So we have that live shot popped up for our viewers in the bottom right of the screen. We'll wait for them to come out, and we'll see what kind of new developments we get. What, if any, further details we get on this shooter now, as the rest of these children and some of the adults who are injured are still recovering, Jillian.
We are indeed awaiting another news update. We're hoping to hear from the governor, Tim Walz, potentially law enforcement officials, health officials there in the county. Let's go ahead and play that sound you referenced, Bill. A 10-year-old who was on scene today saw his friends get injured. It's incredibly difficult to watch, but guess what? We're going to play it because it's important that people see what is going on. Listen.
My friend ran, someone helped him run out. He saw him, he was wearing all black and he had a ski mask on. I was down, so I didn't really look up. I mean, he got shot through the stained glass windows. My friend Victor, he was laying on top of me, making sure I was safe, and he got hit. So that was really brave of him.
All right, let's bring in Ted Williams, former DC homicide detective, also a defense attorney and a Fox News contributor. I don't know, Ted. What do you say to something like that?
You know, Jillian, is just so chilling to hear that young child. That young child, as many of the children that was on this scene, are going to be traumatized by this incident the rest of their life. But let's just look at what happened here. This was a planned, targeted, cold-blooded killing by this guy, Westman. Without a doubt, when you think about it, when he took two 2x4s, blocked the doors, so individuals who were in that mass praying could not get out, that says a great deal about what he had up his sleeve.
I'm gonna stop it right there because I mean, the more information that comes out, I'll try to get to it. It seems like they're still trying to sort through things and figure out what's happening right now and what's going on. This is maybe 2 hours old right here, so anything more that comes out, I may do a video on it, may talk about it and everything like that. What's going on YouTube? It's post-production, Bruce. All right, so as I was editing this video, I was like, okay, let me try to see if I can find any more information about this, you know, just to be a little bit more informed. So as I went looking around, I was able to find this article right here. So we're just gonna go through it together and then I'll cut right back to the original video. Minneapolis shooter Robin Westman targeted school mass after finding details online. Parents won't be there. Minneapolis school shooter Robin Westman targeted his former Catholic school's first mass of the year after finding details about the gathering online, according to chilling, detailed notes he made. He also revealed that he targeted Annunciation Catholic School and the church next door because he knew it well. His mother worked as a secretary and he attended as a child. I was able to see on like some other information as well that she retired in 2021. The school schedule is publicly posted online, so I should go through that and look for events that look promising. Ooh, August 27th, and that is an all school mass. The gunman put in a July 25th entry of his twisted handwritten diary that he shared on YouTube before Wednesday's massacre. This is a sick man. Because someone that would, one, write it, I'm guessing this is almost verbatim from his handwritten diary, with that type of excitement, I mean, sick, twisted person. You can see a diary right here. Also, it was saying that like it was a lot of Russian writing. I don't know if that's his lineage or anything like that, but that's what I saw when I saw other pictures as well. And I'm guessing, I don't know what ties that may be. We'll find out more later, but that's what I remember seeing. These as well. I remember seeing a whole lot of this. Like he wrote on the mags of the weapons that he used, mostly the rifles here. You know, the big one, fart. Oh, we know what that says. Yeah, we know what that says. F everything that you stand for. Suck on this. Where is your God? I saw one that said F Trump, rip and tear, or something like that. Disturbing stuff. I bet the front doors will be unlocked today. I will go to Starbucks at 8:40, chill there, then walk to the church at 9:30, arrive about 3 minutes late, he wrote in August 10th entry, describing his trial run of the shooting. I will walk down the west side and try door 22 on my way. I will walk down the west side and try door 22 on my way to the south doors. After mass, I will try to exit out the main doors and walk down the east side to go to the office. He wrote in a homespun code of Russian Cyrillic. Oh, I can't pronounce that. Russian Cyrillic and English words, which was translated by the Post. He said he picked the target because of his familiarity with it. I went to that school, so I know the layout. I don't think I really need to do that much recon at the start of the school, he wrote. Westman's diary lays out how carefully he planned his attack on the Annunciation Catholic School and church, even down to the car spot he would park in. Bullets were also seen in the video clip. Yeah, I also heard about this too. He had like a whole diagram of the church and how it was set up. Like this, I don't know what was going on. I'm not going to make this a political thing and talk about the fact that this person was trans, anything like that. That's not what I'm here for. There's something seriously wrong. And people could tie that to it. Sure, cool. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to just talk about what I know for sure. He also added, The parking spot at Annunciation I wanted to use as a handicap spot, so it might be suspicious if I park there. It shouldn't be a big deal initially. I don't think I'll be in my car too long or even park in the spot for now anyway, he wrote. He also looked for anyone who might be capable of challenging him. Both times I went to the church, I didn't see any men under the age of 55. I only saw old people and some mom-age ladies, some with very young kids, he said. Even still, these boomers could be packing. Like I said, the whole thing is just twisted. It's sick, it's twisted. I don't know what this person was going through. I don't know. Look, make your own conclusions, come to your own like ideas of what it may be. All I know is that, just like I said in my original video, I feel like this is gonna get real political real fast, and hopefully we don't draw too much away from the real issue, which is, you know, children lost their lives on that day, and that's what we really need to pay attention to. But the whole thing is just sick. So let's get back to the original video. Like I said before, I see this getting political real fast. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully you can focus on the main important parts, which are the loss of life and what we can do to, I don't know, fix this and shift this into a better direction, because every day is something new, you know. And it's funny because there was I call it a mass shooting. I looked at the definition of mass shooting. Mass shooting is when it involves 4 or more victims, excluding the perpetrator, right? So New York has a lot of mass shootings. There was one over near Prospect Park in Brooklyn, right? People don't talk about it like that, but it is. And I think because New York is so desensitized to it, because it happens on a consistent basis, it doesn't really get that much, you know, coverage or that much attention, because it's like a normal everyday occurrence. And I'm saying for all of it, it's happening a lot more frequently. It's happening a lot. Like a lot. It's happening a lot. School just started, and look what happened already. God forbid this copycats. And this was going on like last year as well. Last year when school started up, the same thing. Within like a week or two, a school shooting. You know, the whole thing is terrifying. It's chilling. You know, I went to a Catholic school for a little bit when I was in preschool, and I can only imagine like those times we would go and pray. I can only imagine what that would have felt like to be there and then just hear gunshots ringing through like that. That would have been terrifying. And hopefully these children will be able to get the proper support that they need to be able to overcome this in due time. But the whole thing is just tragic, truly. Well, that's it, guys. As you know, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment down below. Tell me your thoughts. What can be done to circumvent stuff like this? Because as we heard previously, this person was able to legally get these weapons and then was able to do this. So what can be done? Like I said before, I'm all for, you know, the Second Amendment, people being able to bear arms and have the weapons that they want, but sometimes you gotta sit down and wonder at what cost. Subscribe if you want to see more. Peace.